Hey, we highly recommend watching Spookies before listening to this show. It's available to stream on Shudder, Amazon Prime, and Arrow Video in the US and Canada. While you watch the movie, you should also get our commentary track for reactions and riffing. It's available to all our supporters on Patreon or on our Bandcamp for $1. Links are in the description.
In the deepest and darkest of woods, where not even the light of the moon can penetrate, two vile creatures indulge in dark delights and have conquered their comrades into capitulation. Now they wander these lands watching scary cinema, and there's a good chance you're next. Mandalore and David invite you to ponder some spooky tapes.
Intro us, and then I'll keep going after that.
All right. Do you
Whenever
want me to
you're
just go?
Yeah.
All right.
No, actually, wait 5 minutes before you go.
Yeah, you need build up.
Well, I need build.
You need build
go whenever you
tension. It's
can.
tension and release, dude.
Go whenever you can.
So yeah. Okay. So
Damn, this is
you're
harder than I
gathering
thought.
thoughts.
This fucking guy, Julian, come over here saying like, you don't know how to intro. I'll fucking do it for you, and then goes
So we just got done watching Spookies. That is the name of it, right? I don't fucking remember.
David,
Yeah, it
you
was
were talking
Spookies.
just like Duke from the hit horror movie Spookies, 1986.
Duke the horny ghost. So, for those who haven't,
Cool.
we just finished watching it. We put up a commentary on the Patreon for all patrons.
Yeah.
Or $1 and up, and it's also available on our Bandcamps if you want to buy it. Before we started watching the movie, I asked everybody who hasn't seen it, because Mandy and we've seen it.
We're
I don't know
very
about you,
aware of
Mandy.
Spookies.
I am very knowledgeable.
Hyper aware of this
I'm
movie.
I'm a spook beast. I fucking know about this movie.
Yeah.
I asked beforehand. I told everybody there is something incredibly wrong about this movie. Something that is fucked up about it. And they had to guess what it is. And they were basically like given clues while we were watching the movie and all that. I want you guys to tell me right now.
So was I answering it first?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you can still
Corbin
answer it
was
first.
Corbin was super confident about it.
Tell me, what do you think was fucked up about the movie?
Catboys was filmed on a different day. He was not there with everyone else.
buddy.
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct, though.
That is
But it's not the
correct.
full
That
answer.
that was my
Wait.
main thing.
I have a second point. It was a different director, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, dude, it was.
Oh,
Here's
shit.
another one. What if I told you that it was filmed under a different name and under a different movie?
What?
Yes.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the movie we are talking about, Spookies, it is. It's a fucking horror movie where a sorcerer sacrifices a bunch of like teenagers played by 40-year-olds.
And then two actual
So that he-
50-year-olds were supposed to be.
Yeah. And he wants to like revive his wife that wasn't his wife or something by
She hated
throwing
him.
like spookies.
He's an incel.
Yeah. Either way, that's the movie. That's what happens. But it is not that simple. Here's some production history for you guys.
It really is, though.
This Spookies was made by two separate groups of filmmakers. Completely separate groups.
Did they communicate at all?
No. When
No,
when the
they
second
did
unit
not.
took over, they had like there was intense hatred between them.
Like
Oh,
we're
no.
going to get into it, but there are two separate groups of filmmakers who made it. The original filmmakers were Brendan Faulkner and Thomas Doran.
Oh, to be born
And-
with the last name Faulkner.
Fucker. And they basically wrote Spookies. Okay, I'm going to say this, don't laugh. They wrote Spookies as a subversion of the haunted house movie tropes. So they made Evil Dead, but it was like trying to subvert Evil Dead.
And then a second group takes over and says,
subversive
let's
art.
make this Evil
What if it was
Dead.
Evil Dead?
What happened is they went to a financier called Michael Lee, who is extremely hated. He's a British man that got very famous. Do you guys know what a video nasty is?
Porn?
No, a video nasty is basically any video cassette that they would rent out that was like very violent, very like sexual in nature would be deemed a video nasty in the UK.
Like porn was under it, but it was also like super
Yeah.
violent shit, which also
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
they go hand in
Shitty horror
hand.
films.
Basically,
Yeah.
Michael
Okay.
Lee got famous for like financing video nasties in the UK and selling them through his company called like Vipco.
Vipco is an
Vipco,
entire fucking story of itself.
We can go like we're not getting into Vipco. That is another nightmare story. But basically, what happened is the financier Michael Lee said that he would bankroll one of their movie ideas, which was called Hellspawn, because Hellspawn was like the dream that Brendan Faulkner and Thomas Doran wanted to make, like the dream movie. He said he would bankroll that movie. He would just pay the complete production if they could make something more conventional. And that's how we got the first movie, which was filmed, called Twisted Tales.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was called might have been called Twisted Soul.
Oh,
Twisted
Twisted
Souls.
Souls. I'm sorry.
Twisted Tales is the name of the
Souls.
behind the scenes documentary.
Yeah. No. You're right. Sorry. Twisted Souls. Twisted Souls was the original unfinished movie. As I mentioned a bit during the during our watch through, during our commentary, things did not go well at all. There was there was constant infighting during the entire production, and basically what happened is Faulkner and Doran, along with every single actor, editor, like the entire filmmaking crew of Twisted Souls, quit the project because Michael Lee was asking for some insane things, and also just because while they were filming,
He was being a fucking pervert too.
things. Oh, he was being a pervert.
Oh, that's good.
Let's get into
The result of the movie.
yeah.
How would any of you who've seen it for the first time, how the fuck would you describe Spookies to somebody?
I, during the movie, said, I think I would like a lot of these things if they were in a vacuum, but they're all in the same movie, and I'm confused at what is happening.
Oh, actually,
No, but that's what makes it work.
it makes it work as a funny bad movie.
Right, that's what I mean.
But also, just to mention, Twisted Souls was 98% done
Yeah.
when they quit the project. They showed Michael Lee a rough cut, and Michael Lee didn't know what a rough cut was, and he said, "This is fucking shit," and then he just basically like he just basically talked shit to them.
So
And that's why they quit.
So Michael Lee is the second director who filmed all the Catboy stuff.
No. That was what was her name? Eugene. It was a lady.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. It
Jeannie
was like
Joseph?
Jeannie. Was it Jeannie Joseph?
What?
I think it was. No, you're right. I think
Yeah, it was Eugene Joseph, yeah.
Jeannie Joseph was the one who did the rest of the movie.
Because like David said, it was basically done, but they also had like studio people who didn't understand it when they're trying to figure out who to sell the movie to.
Yeah,
And they had this, like, one of the studio people said, "Oh, this scene's dragging on too long of this person walking across the room. Can't you just like cut out the frames in the middle?" And so they showed him like, okay, here's a person teleporting across the room. And the studio guy saw nothing wrong with that. He's like, yeah, why can't you do that?
God.
this is real. This is real.
Yeah.
Like this movie has some of the most insane stories about it. There is actually, like, if you're watching this right now, like we mentioned earlier, there is a 2-hour long documentary. It is longer than the movie itself, and it is almost as interesting because of how batshit it is.
Because like Ten was saying, there's parts like, oh, I'd enjoy this in a vacuum maybe. But
Yeah.
trying to string together, it's like, what happens in the movie and our climax is on someone who we've barely seen in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like it's weird because it's like kind of shit, like to the point where it's like I'm enjoying it because it's a fucking mess. But then there were like sequences where it's like, oh, this kind of fucking rules.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a roller coaster.
That's why you like when you were mentioning like, oh, the camera's out of focus for this scene. The camera's
Like, why does the
in
lighting look shit here?
Yeah, because one of them was filmed months and months after the other. Like it took almost like, was it 5 years, I think, or
It was a
don't
while.
quote me on this. It took so long to actually get this movie released.
I know there was one scene in particular
Psychotic.
where the Catboy was outside and it was like
Yeah.
clearly daytime and they just put the
Yeah.
color blue.
Yeah.
They just painted it on there.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, okay, do you guys remember the scene at the beginning with the kid and the
Billy.
Billy and the pedophile?
Yeah, that
Let's
shit was
sugarcoat it.
absolutely not in the
That
original
was-
movie.
That was
No.
after the fact. Every scene with Kronos,
The Spookmaster was inserted as a
the
later
sorcerer
thing.
was inserted.
What? The
Yeah.
His
movie
wife
had a
was
conflict.
inserted. Yes, his wife was inserted. The cat was inserted.
Well, of course the cat
Every-
was inserted.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, all of that was inserted in the movie. That's why they never interact with the
Directly.
actual teens.
Yeah.
That's why I just
Like,
cut
the
to him being
teens
like,
were-
"Oh, let's fuck with the Ouija board. Show the Spookmaster
Yeah.
saying what it'll say."
Dude, oh my,
Yeah.
oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That is
makes
a really
so much more
that's
sense
a
now.
pretty-
Or just
so
like
that's a
when the
pretty smart way
gremlins
to
are
do it,
attacking
though.
and you just see the Catman looking through the window.
That's
See, it's like, let's tie this together.
This movie rocks. Holy
So
shit.
when what
Okay.
was her name? Carol? When Carol gets possessed, was it literally
Yes.
just supposed to be like an Evil Dead kind of
Yes.
thing? It wasn't supposed
Yeah,
to be like,
it was
oh, it's
just supposed
it's
to be an Evil Dead.
It's Kronos, something.
Yeah.
It was
He's-
not
That
Kronos,
makes so much more sense. That's
Creo.
so much better than whatever
Creo.
they went with.
Yeah.
On the IMDb,
Creon,
he's also
Creon,
referred to
Creon.
as the flatulent sorcerer.
Okay.
That that is the
Hello?
whole
Okay.
other part.
So oh man, we're already on here. Okay. So give me a sec. When
We should at least describe what the fuck's happening in the movie a little more
I can't
before
believe
getting to the.
Mandy, this feels like an ultimate fucking Mandy edit, but
This
it's
is
just a real movie.
disjointed.
Mandy, is this what you meant when I said, oh, Duke fell down the stairs, fell like face first into shit and got really horny? And you said, oh, that's relevant later.
Okay, yeah.
that is
Oh my
let's,
God.
Let's go,
Oh
let's
my
try
God.
to let's try to
No.
timeline this. Let's try
Yeah.
to timeline this because
Okay.
this is going to be unlistenable, but to be fair, Spookies is like
A
barely
mess.
watchable. So it's really hard.
The
I
clearest way to overview
I think the optimal way to experience this is after watching the movie with us. There's no other
Oh
way.
yeah, no, absolutely. Just watch the movie. It's available on Shudder. It's available on Arrow Video. It's
We're not
pretty
sponsored, but
easy-
we'd like to be.
Hey Shudder, I'll kiss you on the mouth if you sponsor us. For real though, like this movie is worth a watch. Just grab a few beers, grab the commentary track, and then
Shut up.
and then just no, but like for real, even if you don't get the commentary track, you need to watch this. This
Yeah.
is
Also, you need to get drunk watching it.
this is a movie that
I
you need
fucking
to
hate that I was
experience.
sober.
With
I hate
like
that you were sober for you.
you genuinely need to experience this movie before listening to this, I think.
I think that goes
Because
for just
holy
about
fuck.
anything of these
Well,
we do, honestly.
yeah,
I know
I
the
mean-
movies.
Yeah.
I think the
feel like
movies are
it'd be
required
easier to
watching.
Structure. It'd be easier to structure any other movie. But like I said,
This
like,
movie is unhinged.
I mean, the
Yeah.
most simple way you could put the movie is like teenagers and mom and dad go into a big mansion and they run into different spookies inside of it because they're trapped.
yeah.
what's a spooky, Mandy?
A spooky is whatever they had on set that day. I mean, some of the spookies were super well prepared, like the
Oh,
the
yeah,
spider
definitely,
creature. But sometime, like Dave was mentioning, the financier, at one point he's like, "I got a gorilla suit. No, let's use a gorilla suit." It's like, "What do you mean? We don't have a fucking gorilla." He's like, "Oh, you could just have it pop up."
Did the gorilla ever make the cut?
No, he
Aw.
was pitching
He didn't
this. He was
see
pitching
it.
this to the first unit though. So the second
Yeah.
group who came in then went like, "Oh, what if we had a cat boy pop up instead?"
That would
Oh
be
my
scarier.
god.
Yeah. Anyways,
Wow.
we're already off track. From the top, let's just try to go through the movie scene by scene and talk about it, I guess.
Okay.
Hold up.
Little
hold up.
boy.
The
Birthday.
credits.
The credits.
The
Good,
credits.
it's the end of the movie.
No, but
The
like, I
beginning
feel like
intro credits.
Yeah.
is this not like something we should talk about? You said they were like we're talking about the production.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said the credits were edited and like cut, right?
Yeah, no. Some of the credits some of the credits are not on there. Some of the people who worked on this movie are not on.
Yeah.
Why?
Someone their name's taken off, or they're
Why?
just not
Because
included.
they didn't want to be on there.
Oh God!
Because it was not the movie they
opt-out?
wanted to make. One of the things in the documentary Twisted Tale that they say that is a pretty good, like, it's a good way of telling you how they felt about this movie is there is not a single shot in this movie that goes from one shot to the next like they planned.
Oh,
This movie is
no.
jumbled up completely. There is not a scene that goes into another scene that was supposed to happen.
Oh,
And it
that's
feels like
so rough.
Yeah, it feels like it.
very much
That is
things happen.
exactly why. That is exactly why some people were like, I do not want my name attached to this.
Or just like the characters they added later and stuff, where they're just like, who the
Yeah.
fuck is this?
Yeah.
I don't-
Why is
yeah.
Billy having a birthday party?
Yeah. Dude,
What a
oh my
psychotic
God.
fucking
So, wait,
sequence.
okay, let's start.
I forgot
Billy?
that even happened.
Let's start. Okay. Pedophile in the woods.
Okay.
A child
The
says, I'm
movie
13.
starts.
And he goes, no, you're 12. I can tell.
So how old are you, kid? 12?
13.
No, you're not.
So I'm turning 13 tonight. He goes, get out of here.
Yeah.
What
He
the
turns
fuck
into a
is that
cat.
The movie.
Yeah,
the
he says
movie
you better go
literally
home, Billy.
Yeah, the movie literally starts with a kid walking around a forest, and all of a sudden, this dude in a tree just fucking.
He goes, can you
he just
spare
goes-
a guy a light? And then he lights a cigarette
he
for him
just
while
has
he's
a
eating ding
cigarette in his
dongs.
mouth. Yeah, he's eating ding dongs. It
He's
looks
munching
like,
on
dude,
crack
we
cocaine
thought
bricks, apparently.
Oh,
it
that's
just
right, 'cause
looks
it's
like
just
two
like you said,
fat
I
bricks
thought it
of
was
cocaine.
cocaine.
And this fucking random dude sitting on a tree branch, like high up in a tree for no reason, is just like, "Hey kid, spare a light for an old man."
Guys, I'm gonna be real. If we play by play this whole movie, we're gonna be here for way too fucking long.
No, I know.
He was
I know.
not high up in a tree.
To be
He was
fair,
like,
the story
chest
beats
height.
then become just Spookies appearing. So we'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, what I don't get is they're supposed to be in the middle of fucking nowhere,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
this kid
they're,
just
like,
ran away
lost.
from home. What the fuck
Yeah,
is this
what-
guy
what-
doing in a tree without a lighter but a cigarette?
He's a spooky.
He's just
No, he's not. He got
No, because he
killed by
dies
Spooky.
3
No, he
seconds
dies.
later.
Yeah, but he comes
Literally,
back.
3 seconds later, the cat man makes his grand entrance and just fucking scratches his face.
with the hook.
And that's the end of that. That is the end of that entire scene. The pedophile just dies. He might not be a pedophile, but he's quite the fucking creep. Immediately after, Billy just goes into. Does he even? I just
Yeah, he
realized,
goes to
what
the
happens
Spooky
to
Mansion.
the
White House.
ding-dongs? Yeah, but what happens to the ding dongs? He just opens one and then it's gone.
That
He
doesn't-
probably
who
ate it.
cares?
Doesn't matter.
He got scared and ran away. I don't
Movie's
know.
unwatchable. What happened to the ding dongs?
He threw the ding dongs in the air and started
By
fucking
far the most
running.
egregious continuity error.
And he goes into the manor. I want to mention something about the manor because it is actually fucking insane. The manor in this movie was played by the John Jay
Was played?
estate. No, that
Yeah.
yeah,
Was
that's
played
the thing
by?
that yes, that's
you
the
said
thing
that, you said
people
that for a
say.
whole building?
Yeah,
It's casting.
Oh,
you,
shit.
you can cast a building.
it doesn't
What?
matter. Oh my god, it doesn't fucking matter. You guys are so hooked on that.
I've never heard that before.
it
It's
was-
weird.
I've
Anyway,
also never
continue.
heard it before.
Because the
Continue.
because the manor isn't actually the John Jay estate.
I
It
understand the
plays
concept.
manor.
It's still a strange
It's a
phrasing.
thing-
Continue.
No, it's the thing people
It's
say.
like
Oh
played
my
by.
god, shut the fuck up. It is played by the actual John Jay estate. For people who don't know, John Jay was the former president of the Continental Congress, and he was he was homies with Benjamin Franklin as well as John Adams.
oh,
And that, yeah, no, the what happened is when they were scouting for locations for Spookies, they found out that the John Jay estate was going to be demolished because of neglect.
it certainly
And
looks neglected.
and turned into condos. You know what they did? The crew for the original Spookies, which were the Faulkner and Doran's film crew, they actually went in and every amenity in the building got like redone
Whoa.
and renovated and restored. That is the reason why the John Jay Estate in New York is still up and now a heritage site. Spookies
Holy shit.
literally saved the John Jay Estate.
Whoa.
Then we
movie is
restored it
much
to make
more-
our shit movie.
The movie
And
is
they
much
restored
more
it to
enjoyable
make
now.
Spookies. I just needed you all to know that Spookies has actual historical relevance.
I mean, I knew it had historical relevance as soon as I finished watching.
I watched a movie where a spirit Halloween Grim Reaper threw down a bookcase on a generic, like, greaser character in a room that Benjamin Franklin might have said a slur in.
It's fucking crazy. Dude, Spookies is so crazy. But either way, Billy just goes into the John Jay Estate, walking around, and an Ewok just follows him in.
Into the room with the birthday party with the upside down
birthday
balloons
Why the
because they had
fuck
no
did he have a
helium.
birthday party that never comes up again, and he dies in the next scene.
Hey, you're rushing.
They're baiting him into the spooky
spoilers,
house.
bro. Yeah, Creon had to bait the kid in so that he could hide. He could hide inside the gift.
I'm getting
and
a headache.
So that when Billy opened the fucking gift, he saw Creon's head into in the fucking gift.
Happy birthday, Billy.
I'm not.
For people who don't know, Creon is
He's the
sorcerer.
spook master.
I'm not.
The-
I'm
the
not
flash
one
blast.
to be like, what were they thinking? But like, genuinely, what the fuck was the idea for that? What
Money.
What were they thinking?
I have.
They needed to pad out the movie.
Did they?
I don't think they did. I think they
the second team that filmed it.
I
though,
think they
right?
probably. Yeah.
That was the second
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Because
That is true.
Billy wasn't in the original movie.
We don't know what they threw
Also,
away.
Billy definitely did
So
not
like,
die.
there's no way they needed to pad things out. They cut a bunch of shit.
Oh,
No, Billy got his face ripped off and
The
then
way-
fucking
okay.
buried.
The way that
Buried
Billy
air quotes.
Billiam died was he got scratched on the face, fell into a fucking open grave, and then the fucking cat. What
He starts
cat
shoveling like a mild amount of dirt on him, and then just fucks off.
name? Dude, Billy could just get up and leave.
My
But he doesn't, he
headcanon
just
is that Billy
accepts
just
it.
walked off later.
I was like, oh my god, he's
Catman
getting
just
buried
leaves.
alive. David's like, oh my god, they're killing a kid in this movie. Look at this. It's crazy. They're killing this kid. He put like a minimal amount of dirt on him.
It is
fucking cat guy
so
leaves,
tiny.
and Billy gets up and leaves.
He put an inconvenient amount of dirt on him.
like, oh shit, my fucking clothes are all dirty. Maybe I didn't really reconsider leaving
Meanwhile-
home at 13.
We're following this group of teens. There's like 8 of them. A lot of them
And
irrelevant. A lot of them
everyone's
are,
an adult. What
and
am I
2
saying?
adults. Yeah, 2 of them
They're
are
all
like
40.
2 are just clearly adults.
No, like most of them are like okay. Most of them are like maybe like 30s, and then there's just 2 of them that are like 50.
Yeah.
and they're just like, oh, you silly kids.
They're mad that the greaser got them kicked out of a party they were all at together.
Why were they at that party together?
They were just at a party together.
Well, because they're also
Can't believe Duke got us kicked out of this party. Oh, it's
because
okay,
it's
honey.
crazy. We grew up with these guys.
Funny, I grew up with these people.
David.
Yeah.
As in, you were
what was the best
raised by them?
teenager? There's a backstory
Oh.
about our favorite teenager with the puppet.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Richard?
best
Richard.
teenager, Richard, who was played by Peter Iasilo, I think. I can't remember how to say it. He was friends with the directors, and the directors thought he was such a fucking riot that he should have his role, and then they just gave him a puppet, and they were like, "Be funny on camera," and that's his character.
And he succeeded
just-
a lot.
He was funny.
He is so funny. He just shows up and says the weirdest shit and makes his fucking. He has a puppet with him. that
Just
is
fuck around with the puppet
ugliest,
sometimes.
stupid- he just fucks around with it.
What do you say we kiss and make up? Hi, Duke, what do you say?
What are you, queer or something? Jesus Christ, now what's he doing?
Is that crew 1? That has to be crew 1, right?
That's
This
true.
is crew 1.
So like, okay, so that makes this whole thing like even deeper because like
If you're well, we
Like,
mentioned the how David's saying it was like a parody kind of thing, or like a deconstructing whatever. You have like the clown character. You have the fucking goof off, and he's literally like fucking around with a puppet.
yeah, it's just
They were literally writing it as like a subversion of the haunted house subgenre.
It's so strange, right? Because
we say it's strange, but there's no way for us to actually know what it was supposed to be like.
No, but what I'm saying is that what's strange about it is that it's very easy to paint like Crew 2 as being like these fuckoids, and Crew 1 as being like these were the visionaries.
All the documentary stuff's very one-sided.
Basically, like, I think Michael Lee passed away, and all the other filmmakers for Spookies, Crew 2, do not want to talk about Spookies. And I mean,
the guy was already had issues working with them with Crew 1.
Michael Lee, yeah, even with Crew 2, there were still issues.
Well, what I'm saying is that it seems like Crew 1 was much more put together than Crew 2, and that's easy to say in retrospect. But then you have crazy fucking wacky, like, tangents that happen even with Crew 1 that make it, like, harder to tell where the competence ends and the weird decisions that don't make sense.
But the thing is,
begin.
How can you tell if it was supposed to be silly when you have no context?
We have a little bit, like when they first come in the house and they find, instead of like the Necronomicon, they find the weird Ouija board that looks vaguely Egyptian.
Yeah, this is where we are in the story. The kids are like got kicked out, so they want to party somewhere, and they somehow end up at the John Jay estate. And they find the Ouija board.
And when they find it, it's like, oh, this will all summon like a different creature with each time we fuck with it. And we're talking about Cabin in the Woods, which is in that same kind of vein of like, oh, we'll just have the monster basement where we have the different objects and each one calls in a different creature. And now it's like, oh, maybe it was just supposed to be they're in this house with spookies coming out.
Yeah.
And it was just that simple. But then they added the Spookmaster.
Do you think they were supposed to be farting in the original cut?
No.
Okay. You're ahead. You're going ahead.
Hey,
but the first
farting
thing
is not
that happens,
kept to one scene.
Okay, do I admit this now? I was farting throughout that entire movie.
Okay, it was not you. I can guarantee you, because Michael Lee, and I'm quoting. I'm not saying that Michael Lee. Okay, Michael Lee.
Say it.
Michael Lee may or may not have had a fart fetish.
That wasn't Michael Lee. That was not Michael Lee. That was it was the sound editor.
The sound editor may or may not have had a fart fetish.
Dude, no.
Oh my god.
So Crew 1 was talking about the movie, and they said, oh yeah, they brought on the sound editor.
This is all just mentioning. This is all alleged. This is from Crew 1, and Crew 1 hate Crew 2 with a passion.
Yeah, so they were talking about him.
Movie.
And they said, oh yeah, we were watching the premiere, and when like the fart scene happened, the dude who like choreographed it and did the makeup was like fucking fuming in the theater because like they worked hard on it, wanted it to be hard.
The costumes are amazing in this.
And they just put fart sounds over it. And the actual sound editor himself came on to talk about it, and he's like, yeah, so like they're full of like muck and mire, so I decided to add like some fart sounds, and you know, he's like, because like gas would do that, and so I put a chicken in slime.
Fucking serious, dude.
This is a direct quote.
This is what you're talking about.
He goes, I took a raw chicken, started shoving it in like slime too to make some background sounds, and I was fist fucking the chicken essentially.
Oh my!
And he goes, but no, it was dead before I fist fucked it. It's okay. And they cut to the first crew, and they're like, yeah,
in the documentary. The sound editor keeps saying, I don't condone fist fucking live chickens, but I condone fist fucking dead chickens. He's such a psycho. Dude. He's so weird.
Because the entire crew goes, oh yeah, he like had some anal thing. Like he go up to strangers and be like, pull my finger and fart and shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then when you see him, he seems like the guy who would. Because then he's like, oh yeah, I did work in porn for a little bit and all this other stuff. And
anyways,
God, dude,
we went far ahead. The first spooky that shows up technically from the original Twisted Souls is while they're playing around with the Ouija board. Claire? What's her name? Claire?
The Deadite.
Carol becomes
the Deadite.
like, she gets possessed by the sorcerer and becomes a Deadite.
They go through the house and they try to run out.
No, that's when they run outside and they see the invisible ghost.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
the invisible.
Oh, another production
I forgot
thing.
about that. Okay. they run out of the house because they're like, of course, like, you see fucking your friend becomes a deadite, you're gonna go like, oh fuck this, I'm out.
I'm getting the fuck out.
Three of them go out. I can't remember which, because I'm gonna be real. Every character except the two like 50-year-olds, I keep aging them up, but every character except those two are so forgettable. Oh, and Duke, because Duke is the fucking
I like
guy
Duke.
who's wearing trash
Richard has
bags.
his puppet. Then Dave is just doing his
Richard
thing.
feeds popcorn to his puppet.
Yeah. Either way, they go outside. One of them just dies.
The guy who dies his name was Lewis, because I remember they put
Lewis
like Lewis
Welsh.
something
Lewis
something
Welsh.
on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
They were like,
yeah.
go out there and look at Lewis's tombstone.
Yeah, because Lewis basically gets dragged down into a tombstone. The thing is, during that entire scene, while the original crew was filming it, they were going to add ghosts that would like grab Lewis and bring him down into the thing, and then the ghost would go after the two others that watched him die while they run back into the house.
Instead, he just sinks into the ground and they dodge from nothing.
Yeah, because the second crew did not know that they had to add ghosts to that scene because everybody left the fucking production.
Okay,
So during the entire scene, they're just swatting at nothing and freaking the fuck out and going like, "Go!"
Like, why even
And
keep
there's
that
nothing.
sequence if it doesn't make any sense?
Because they're fucking.
Well, they have the
During-
zombies
They
spawn
dumb.
too,
They
because
didn't know.
they have to show why they can't go outside, because everyone will go, why don't they just leave? So you go, have some zombies walk out.
Yeah,
So-
there's also like all the zombies. The zombies are part
Zombies
of
were
crew
second
two,
crew?
not. They were
Yes.
not part of the original script.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of zombies that show up, and that's the reason why they can't go out of the house. And they run back into the house.
The first crew was explicitly forbidden from having zombies, and then by the time second crew did it, they said you could have zombies.
Wait, explicitly forbidden?
Yeah, because they want
Yeah,
they're
'cause
trying to do
it
Evil
was-
Dead, and they said that
It was subversion.
yeah, like David was saying with Video Nasties, they thought that zombies might be too gory and would cause like distribution problems.
Okay.
But by the time second group came, they said, fuck it, you can do zombies.
Also, by the way, just in general, the even for the second crew, the costume designers, the fucking
Oh, they still went to work,
like
yeah.
the effect works, like the special effects are incredible.
They're so
During the
good.
entire
I mean,
movie.
really good.
Depending.
Okay,
Some
except,
look not
except
so
the
good.
merman. Except
But
the merman.
Mostly crew
fine.
2's work
Julian-
are where it starts to fall apart.
I was gonna say, Julian saw some of the zombies and like exclaimed loudly while we were watching it. That looks dead.
Yeah.
Because it looks good.
Yeah,
It looks good.
because I wasn't ready for it. Because until that point, they were just they were just throwing fucking ketchup on a kid's face and like calling it a gore scene. It's
Either
it's
way,
night and day.
they go back inside and then they're like, oh, we have to split up to find a way out.
And then they split
Or
up and get attacked
something.
by spookies, and that's the rest of the movie.
Yeah. The rest of the movie is just going from scene to scene, and the different groups get attacked by a different spooky.
This movie has very little structure.
Let's get into Duke and Isabel, Linda, I can't remember, Megan. No, it
Isabel's
was
the
Linda.
bride.
was
Yeah,
Linda?
Isabel was the girl in the coffin.
Is Duke and Linda are together?
Yeah, it doesn't
fucking
matter. It's Duke and his
Yes.
girlfriend.
It's Duke and his girlfriend.
Duke and his
Duke is the guy.
girlfriend.
Duke is a
Greaser. He's a greaser character.
80s greaser.
hey, we're walking in.
Hey, and there's a part where
He
he
is
turns
wearing-
around and goes, hey, what are you, queer?
When he's wearing his trash bag.
Yeah, but he's
Leather
wearing a
trash
trash
Trash bag. He's wearing a trash bag that's just
Covered in zippers.
It's covered in so many zippers. And at one point, he just turns to Richard and his pup and he goes like, hey, what are you fucking queer? Hey.
He didn't say fucking.
No, he didn't say
He was, hey, what are you,
fucking.
queer?
What are you queer?
What are you, queer or something?
They just split up and Duke and his girlfriend, we don't remember her name because she like dies immediately.
Duke's girlfriend. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Duke's girlfriend.
Duke is
They
way
just
cooler
go-
than her.
They just go into a room that has 2 ladders. And I don't know if that fucked you up too, but it looked like they took one shot of them inside the room with the ladder and then reversed it for the other shot where the door next to them
Oh, and that's why like the
opened.
ladder doubled.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
the
notice
ladder
that.
doubled. It's so weird.
Maybe one
But
ladder's
either
for
way-
up and one's for down.
Duke's girlfriend is like, oh God, there's somebody across the door. And then Duke is like, I'm on it, babe. And he just fucking
Dives into the door.
dives into the door, straight into a pile of shit.
No, down a staircase.
Yeah, it's in a cellar.
okay, he charges.
Shit.
He charges full fucking speed and comedically falls down an entire flight of stairs.
It wasn't even the only funny
torpedoes.
moment where somebody dives through a door in that movie.
Dude, like all you need are fucking Hanna-Barbera sound effects, and that is a perfect comedy scene.
That movie is very different if you had Hanna-Barbera sound effects. He torpedoes through it, and then his girlfriend is like, oh my God, Duke! And then she just runs after him, and then she also falls because it's dark or something. I don't fucking remember.
She's like over top of him to like check if he's okay.
Yeah.
And he grabs her and like rolls her over.
And he says, what if
Yeah,
we
and then
fucked in
he
the
puts-
shit pile, but then notices there might be wine in the cellar?
Yeah.
He puts
He goes,
on.
let me set the mood.
No, he like reaches around, like screws in a light bulb. It makes a bunch of shock noises. He puts a sheet on himself and goes, "Ooh, I'm Duke, the horny ghost." And then he drinks terrible wine.
That is a direct quote, by the way.
I can't believe that you're not making any of that up. That's what happens.
Ooh, look at me, I'm Duke the horny ghost.
He literally says, I'm Duke the horny ghost.
He just drinks wine covered in spider webs. He goes, ugh, and spits it out.
Yeah, and
It doesn't taste good.
Puts on a sheet. He puts on a sheet, goes, I'm Duke the horny ghost, grabs
Direct
a
quote.
fucking bottle of wine, chugs it, goes, gross. And then that's what his girlfriend is still on the floor for some reason. She doesn't get up.
What am I laying on?
What am I laying on? And that's the moment where the movie takes a fucking hard turn into a bowel. Because
The hands emerge from behind her and the muck monsters come out.
just like a fucking cartoon fart sound effect goes up. And there are 3 muckmen that come out. They were originally called the Muckmen. They are not.
They're shit now.
They're shit men.
They're the flatulent fiends.
This entire scene is nonstop fart sounds.
David and Mandy had to reassure us that they did not edit it in any way, shape, or form.
It is
They
real.
just make fucking fart noises.
I immediately looked at Discord to see who was making the noises, and when no one's name lit up, I was terrified.
Originally, Michael Lee, the financier, wanted the movie to be called Bowel Eruptor because of this scene.
And the muckmen don't come back after the scene. Like
They do not
they're
come
just
back.
gone.
Every
No, they get
spooky
dissolved.
comes and goes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they get
It's
dissolved.
like
by
they wanted to name the
wine.
movie after this. And, like they barely
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah. And this is when the chicken fist fucker was like, "Hey, I made the the shark sounds." I have
The actual sounds he said that he made by literally just blowing on his arm like a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
like I went
like a 6-year-old.
and it's just that.
because
That's the sound
exactly
from the
what
movie.
it sounded like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what happens.
It's just going over and over again.
It's nonstop and it keeps going and it's so fucking funny. Farts are so fucking funny. Anyways,
They are.
Here's the thing. the editor, because they didn't fire the editor, but the editor of the original Twisted Souls left with the 2 directors, and the new director hated the fart sounds so much, and she kept being like, guys, this is fucking stupid. I don't want to, like, this is so dumb. Don't put this in the movie. She hated it so much that Michael Lee actually fired her, and then the next day rehired her.
Yeah.
God.
The new director said the fart scene is the stupidest thing, and the fight was so bad she left like the recording studio in tears. But then they brought her back, and the fart scene had to stay.
Oh my!
The next day they put an ultimatum on her, like, either you have a job and the farts stay, or the farts stay and you're gone.
Can't be serious.
The
This
fart
is
scene was a
real.
critical breaking point for the second
Your
director.
job or
Real.
your dignity.
Yeah. Either you stay and the farts stay, or the farts stay and you still go.
Yeah, it is. That entire scene is so bad shit, and it just ends with like one of the muckmen just falls into a puddle of water, and then Duke is like, I water, I put the wine on him. And then she just fucking...
The wine!
The wine. And then they break a big-ass basket of wine over the Muckmen, and they dissolve, and they make fart noises, and that's the scene.
And then
that
Duke
is all
said,
it
don't
is.
taste so good.
This is... The entire scene lasts like... We took so long to explain it. This scene lasts like...
Most of the spooky attacks are quite brief.
I'd say like 2.5 minutes tops.
There's so much going on, but it's like the shortest scene ever.
Which is completely separate from like half the other scenes in this movie where they just linger on the weirdest things.
Yeah, like not a spooky. They'll linger on like an arm or someone like staring at something. And by linger, it's not that long in the context, the rest of the movie. But usually it's like you linger on a kill or something in a horror movie where it's, which they do sometimes. But sometimes, like, when Greaser Boy dies, people were asking while we're watching it, like, oh, did he die?
I didn't know he fucking died.
Because it happens so fast.
This. That is very far in. What happens after the Muckmen? I can
Dude, it doesn't
not
fucking
remember.
matter.
Was it the gargoyle or the
people?
God,
the gargoyle? Oh, the gargoyle.
There's the gargoyles. There's the slime. The little gargoyle gremlin things.
The one that dissolves.
I just think of that as the goblin.
Oh yeah,
no, there's a gargoyle that dissolves.
There's the hallway slime monster thing with the tentacles.
I don't remember that.
I know
at all.
about this because I thought that was going to be the Evil Dead tree scene.
Oh fuck! There's the Spider Woman too.
Yeah, I was just saying.
But
I
that
think
was
the
a
next
cool sequence.
The Spider Woman had
crazy
multiple
'cause the thing
forms
is-
I mean, it was
too.
kind of pointless, but it was cool.
All of these are interchangeable.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah,
None
they
of
have
it.
nothing to do with one another.
Yeah, they're completely devoid of meaning or context outside this guy dies now.
Meanwhile, actually,
But the cat boy watches sometimes. He stares through a window.
Oh, that's true.
that's one thing I was gonna point out.
watcheth.
Meanwhile, like in between all these like random fucking events, you see Creon just next to a fucking big ass
with his Padawan,
Chester.
Jawa. We forgot about the Jawa.
Oh my god, we
Oh,
forgot
the
about the Jawa.
Because there's the Jawa who's following Billy initially for some reason.
Yeah. Oh god, this is gonna be unlistenable. It's such
just,
a bad.
it's just the Jawa.
The movie's
You need to
unwatchable.
watch this movie. You need to watch the movie before you listen to us.
Please watch
because
the
it's
movie.
unlistenable.
We've been talking for like
It's
half
so-
an hour and we're not making any
Listen,
sense.
even if you are scared of horror movies, like genuinely,
It's
you
not-
cannot
it's not
stand it.
scary.
It is the funniest. There is maybe one jump scare.
Is
I
there?
got
And-
startled
I don't
once.
think there is.
I got startled once, and it's at the beginning where he opens the closet door and
Yes.
there's a skeleton.
Oh,
That's it. That is the only thing, and it's really obvious when it's going to happen. Just turn your sound down. You're going to be fine. Watch this.
I
movie.
do not
You
count
need
that as
to.
a jump scare.
No, there's an audio sting. I would, ooh, and David like audibly went, fuck. And he's
There's
seen the
also-
movie.
Oh, I didn't know.
There's
I-
also an
I
audio
totally
sting
forgot about
with the hanging lady.
Oh, but
Oh,
that's
but
not
that's
like
not
super
that's not
scary.
even.
Yeah, but the audio
the
noticeably got like
hanging
5 times
Yeah,
louder.
I forgot about
there was
that.
a sting there, but I hate horror movies. I hate horror movies. I did not jump at the lady hanging
Why are you at this? why are you on this podcast?
Because Spookies
Me?
isn't scary.
because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone for comedy.
Also, most of the movies we're gonna watch on this are not gonna be good movies. We're watching shit.
Yeah, I'm here to riff.
Fucking.
Whoa.
David,
I'm grabbing-
don't let away from
I'm
the
gra-
microphone. You're recording.
Sorry, I'm grabbing another beer. I'm on my 7th. It's Spookies night. Gotta get drunk.
Only way to watch
As
it.
that's happening, the old couple are like they're like in a random room, and the dude just is drunk is like not drunk, but he keeps saying, "I want to be drunk," and then he takes a swig of his whiskey, spits it out, says, "Ew,"
And then he just goes to bed.
and then he goes to bed. He goes to bed, and then his girlfriend is like, "Wake up! You're sleeping. I'm scared."
Her
Did
name
you
was
mention his
Megan.
girlfriend is
Yeah,
British?
she's British.
And her name was Megan.
Her accent gets a
think.
little more intense depending on the scene.
She flips him over, and his face is all scratched up, and she gets attacked by an indiscriminate number because they had one puppet.
Yeah, it is impossible to know how many of these goblin things there are, but this scene lasts
Yeah, it's summoned by the Ouija board.
so
They
fucking
linger
long.
on so much.
She is on the floor just going, "Ah, ah."
So
And
This
then
goblin
there's just,
claws
like,
at her.
There's just some goblin on her, and the goblin doesn't move because it's not a puppet. It's just a
it's
thing.
rigid.
It's rigid. And then she just slams it on the floor and she's like, ah!
If you are somehow still listening to this and did not pause to watch the movie to understand any of the things that we are saying, it looks like a mix between a gremlin and the merman from Cabin in the Woods.
It's just like a gremlin with a mermaid tail.
It was
she smashes one and then escapes.
She smashes one with a bookcase, and when she flipped the bookcase over, I was gonna comment that it felt like a scene out of Scary Movie. It was so like lingering on of her fighting these indiscriminate number of mermen.
She somehow pushes the merman off her, and then she goes to a fucking random place where there's 3 vases, and she just starts checking vases.
Oh, yeah.
She just starts checking vases at the merman, and the merman just like opens its mouth and goes, ah, and then gets fucking clobbered in the fucking head.
There were 3 vases, but she only threw 2, but all 3 disappear.
And then the 3rd one disappears.
She had to have missed, and they went, fuck it, we'll just
and the merman is just there, just like,
why
as
not
if no
at least like
impact
show the
happened.
one wherever she like? It doesn't make sense not to at least show her missing, right? Like it's a horror movie. Is that really the part where you're going to be like, no, we can't show this in a movie where people intentionally fall over like 4 times?
Okay, but Michael Lee, the financier, was the guy who said that teleporting people was fine as long as the movie went fast.
Oh my god!
It might have just been she dropped it and like it shattered on the ground or something, and they went fuck it.
That would be incredible.
You could show that and just like have it cut some way, and it's like, oh, she's panicked, she's throwing shit at him.
They might not have had another one to shatter for like a reaction shot of it falling.
Maybe they broke it before recording. Who knows? Either way, the merman is unaffected by everything she throws at him, but somehow she like throws a bookcase over him and just like sits on the bookcase, and the merman just squishes down, and there's like an insane amount of blood. It is absurd.
And another one or maybe 2 are watching this happen.
Sorry, his entire body got fucking juiced is what it looked like. Please continue.
Oh my god.
There's so much blood everywhere, and then there's just these shots of another merman just staring at the merman under the bookcase.
And there's shots of the Catman staring through the window watching this happen sometimes.
I had to ask.
Nothing happens.
To remind you that he's there.
I had to ask if there were multiple mermen, because I just didn't know, because they only showed one at a time because they had one puppet.
They show reaction shots of others, but it's not clear how many there are supposed to be.
It's cut together. I've been watching Spookies.
Crazy part is, we don't know either. It just ends there. She just leaves.
She leaves to get immediately killed by a slime monster in the hallway.
That part was kind of cool.
Yeah, she just goes into the hallway. She goes into the hallway, and there's just like...
It looks like her boyfriend at first.
She sees her boyfriend, yeah. He's like, I'm feeling better now. Come to me.
Yeah. And then they do this, I feel like it's a reference to Shock by Mario Bava, a very famous scene in a hallway where the man, like a man is obscured by shadows and then becomes a monster. That's been referenced in so many horror movies, but basically like her boyfriend becomes a slime monster and then tentacles start going all over the place. And then
he stop motion gores her face off, and it kind of rules.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's kind of sick.
It's so cool.
And then you see his organs filling with her blood or something, and it looks like jam, but it's cool.
No, well, if you watch it not in the quality that we watched it in, it looks very, very cool. It doesn't look like jam.
Yeah, it was never like we saw. Ten caught the puppeteer a few times.
I caught him
because we were never supposed to see this in 4K.
No.
In 4K, you see quite a bit.
4K.
Not the part with the old lady in the basement. Not the technical monster.
Oh,
but you could see him 2 times pop up in the bottom left. You could just see a guy behind that puppet. Did you guys?
You could also see his fingers again the 3rd time.
I didn't, because I was focusing on the center.
I saw him the first time. I think I saw a guy, and I kept watching the same spot, and there was like 2 different shots where he's moving the old lady puppet around, and she's laughing and shit, and there's just a guy sitting in the bottom corner.
I've seen this movie multiple times, and I've never noticed the puppeteer.
No, he's there.
There's always something new in Spookies.
He's there. I saw him.
There's so much.
Oh, I believe you.
So much going in. Nobody's like pointing at you and saying no.
Like, just like, oh yeah, there's so much shit happening.
It's like you're clearly insane.
Of course you saw him. It's fucking.
I don't even know what the
Spookies.
old lady puppet did because I was looking for the puppeteer again.
That's another scene completely. Because the thing is, while that's happening,
nothing happens. I'll tell you right now.
No, he
doesn't.
wasn't real.
He doesn't do fucking anything.
what happened? No, she steals her
She
soul.
shoots
That's
a
not
laser
true.
beam at her and she falls to the
Either way,
ground.
the witch. The witch scene that we're describing right now literally happens immediately after the slime monster. It
movie
cuts
is just
into it
psychotic.
almost immediately. It is so batshit.
The thing is, if it was just a string of monster attacks with no set anything going on, that'd be entertaining. But instead, they just add this fucking incomprehensible shit with the Spookmaster bringing his wife or something back with sacrifices,
Souls,
which is
yeah,
their
and
intent
chess.
to try and string it together.
Yeah, and he's playing chess.
He plays chess with
And
his
then he
Jawa.
forgot how to play chess and just knocked down a bunch of pieces and all of my pawns are in place.
And then he teaches the Jawa how to use the Force. He's like, you will use these powers, but nothing comes of it.
Remember when he squeezed a white bishop and it turned into a black?
Yeah, what'd that mean?
That's when she became.
That was really
'cause he was
symbolic.
turning. No. Because he turned the girl at the beginning using the Ouija thing into a deadite.
It's just Evil Dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
There was like 4 separate times where I screamed, "It's Evil Dead!"
so
Yeah, and you were correct, all of them.
Yeah.
What a movie.
They find there's a scene that happens. I'm just gonna mention it because it happens like between the slime monster and the witch, where 2 of the other characters just randomly find a girl that hung herself, and she was like, "You can never escape this
She had a
mansion,"
note on her.
and that's
She didn't
it.
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she did. Yeah, she was dead. She hung herself. That scene lasts way too long. It happens. It's gone.
Yeah,
it's
they
over.
never bring it
Oh,
up.
the spider.
Oh, the spider. I was
Richard.
pumped for
We should
that
talk
one.
about the
Richard
spider.
and the
I
spider.
love that one.
The spider looks fucking awesome and apparently looked even better in the original cut. There were
Yeah.
effects on it, like they would have it had like some of the earlier forms because it goes through 5 separate forms, I think. There's also a later final form that had to be cut out.
No, really?
It was the
Oh.
yeah, but it didn't look like a it didn't look as spider-like anymore. It looked like a was a cacodemon.
Before that, though, Richard was actually like, he was just in a random room locked in. The door had like glass on it. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, the random
weird glass
There was a
door.
weird window that you could see like a
Just a
space.
door with a window in it. That was
and
inside the
He
house.
he was just trapped in there. I can't remember exactly what happened, but
Nothing.
No,
He was
no,
just
no, no,
got
no,
out.
no.
Nothing
I gotta-
happened.
no, he was like, I gotta piss, and then he was gonna piss in a fireplace. That's all I remember.
Gonna take a leak. Hey, what the hell am I worried about? This joint ain't the Ritz. The whole place is a toilet.
So he goes into the room and starts fighting the Deadite Carol over the Ouija board. And then the door slams and shut. And he starts like going up to this little like face-sized window in the door and screaming for everybody to open it. And it starts getting like darker and darker in the room until the 2 people on the other side couldn't see it. And I thought it was supernaturally locked. Like I thought it was some like ghost type shit. And then later they cut to the other side of the door and the Catman monster is just holding the knob.
The cat is holding the door shut. The door isn't locked. There's just the cat on the other side holding it.
Second unit's like, let's show the Catman. He's holding the door shut.
Even though it was locked before the Catman was there because there were 2 of them.
But now he's holding it.
In air quotes on the other side of the door trying to get it open.
God, what the
How
fuck?
did that not immediately
forgot
give
about
it away
that.
to me that it was a separate crew filming
Yeah,
half of
right?
these scenes?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, that's the thing. People were noticing all of like the effects, just not the cause.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the lighting looks really shit here. Oh wow, it looks good all of a sudden. Why is this cat guy just here?
Why is the camera unfocused in this, but it's focused
Somebody
on
called
that?
the cat guy the ruiner of scenes. I think that's when Mandy said it. And
It might have been Julian.
I figured it out.
Julian said
Okay.
that. No, Julian said the cat was ruining every scene he was in.
And he was correct because they were just shoving the cat in to go, remember the Spookmaster. Remember that this is happening and this isn't just random shit, even though it's random shit.
I think that's around when Isabel, which is the bride who is not the bride of Creon, gets revived, and then Creon is like, the love of my life, you're back, and then Isabel just goes, fucking kill me, you ugly fuck.
Oh yeah,
And
his wife is not, the girl is not into it at all.
Yeah, she's just like,
It's like, let me die.
Also,
kill me.
She's been in a coffin for 70 years, like frozen in time. So the guy's like super fucking old and she's like 20 something.
She looks great for a 70-year-old corpse.
She's
Amazing.
been frozen the whole time. Because so they don't explicitly say it. They vaguely point out that she drank poison to try to kill herself to get away from this Creon guy. And he was like, he just put her in a coffin and like preserved her.
I kept you alive.
Yeah.
And Creon also speaks through a fucking tin can the whole movie.
Yeah. That's around the same time as well when Creon's like, you are my wife and we have many children. And he's like talking about how all the Spookies in the movie are their children. And then he's like, would you like to meet your son? And then she's like, yeah, sure, who cares?
He walks in the Jawa.
The Ewok just walks into this Ituri, and
she
then
screams.
he's like, ah!
But then she meets her other son randomly later who just goes, Mama.
Where's the spider now? That's when it cuts
We
back
already
to
covered the
Richard
spider
and his
though.
puppet.
It's a cool transformation.
A really cool scene.
And then it sucks Richard to death and it looks like a balloon deflating.
I forgot about that.
The Spider Woman is like Asian, so they play like
Vaguely Asian mysticism music.
Have you guys?
And then she's like, I will show you my true form, and then she transforms into a wriggly fucking spider.
She's like, oh, I'm trapped in the house just like you. You and your friends are in here. And he Richard walks in and he's just like standing around and a big ass spider like crawls up on his back, bites him. He throws it off and then like stumbles backwards into a big web, and then she starts doing a cool transformation sequence.
It's fucking
She starts emoting.
Yeah, she starts fucking
She hit a
emoting.
dance.
Have you guys seen that video? I don't know what it's from, but there's just like a dude in a gym staring down at another dude, and he just yells, "I'm the strongest motherfucker in the world, bitch!"
Yeah.
When I see the dude deflate at the end of the scene, that's just, I swear to God, it's exactly what it looks like.
The spider lady just like throws a smaller spider on him, and then he deflates in like a millisecond, and the scene ends.
It's her mouth. Her mouth extends.
Her mouth?
Well, what they wanted to do, they were trying to do an alien ripoff. So they have like this face hugger like thing come out of to initially like put him on the web. And then when she sucks him dry, she has like the inner mouth that comes out. So it's like an alien homage ripoff sequence.
It's one of those editing choices where it just happens so fast you can barely
It's
understand.
so fast that it makes it
happens
infinitely
so
funnier.
fast. It's like comedy. It's like fucking comedy.
Which First Unit was pissed off by because they said, oh, like actually these transformations went longer and like we had all these other effects, like all the eyes can move and look around in one of the stages, but they just cut between it so quick. They'd be like, what the fuck's happening? Like, the spider's transforming.
It was impossible to understand.
If the guy can teleport across the room, the spider can just hurry.
Yeah.
It doesn't. By the way, the scene where there's teleportation is not in the movie.
No. They were just giving the studio to an example of like, here's why that would look horrible. It's like, because he looks fucking mortified telling the story. He's like, and the studio guy, he saw nothing wrong with that. He's just fucking baffled.
That documentary is so fucking incredible. Like, please watch it. It is so funny. It's available on YouTube.
For now, illegally probably, but
you know what else is available on YouTube?
What?
Twisted Souls, a rough fan reconstruction.
Oh, really? They try to make.
Yeah,
that'd be
they
interesting.
just cut out
that would
Billy
be really
and the flatulent sorcerer. Yeah,
really.
I would want to watch oh, right, the whole thing's on here.
That's
I would like to watch that.
I remember saying like I'd love to see someone try to re-edit it together.
It does suck that just like footage is missing though, since it was basically mostly done besides some effect shots and stuff they needed to do.
Surely the tape still exists somewhere, right?
I think they said that they talked about the end.
Wasn't there something about the tapes being found in a salt mine?
No, it was
in a salt
because the director said they wanted to save like the
Am
rough.
I thinking of another movie? I swear
you're thinking of fucking Event Horizon.
I'm thinking of Event Horizon,
which they did not find, but
yeah,
they had the
right.
cut.
I'm sorry.
They wanted to preserve them, but I think they said Michael Lee, like people just had a fucking vengeance out for them, so they didn't let them keep.
Yeah.
They didn't let them keep them, so where they are is a mystery.
Wow.
Here's how much the first crew hated the second crew. In a lot of horror conventions and so many other like interviews, the original crew literally straight up say, "I hope Michael Lee is fucking dead and in hell."
Yeah.
They are.
The lady who set up the
fucking
sets was like,
hate
"Oh,
him.
I hope he's burning in hell wherever he is."
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Wherever he is, I hope he fucking burns in hell. At one point, they're like, "I don't know if he's dead. He should be." Like, they hate that guy. Michael Lee is incredibly hated by these people.
It also made like the second unit's job fucking harder because a lot of the first group's people, they just took off and said, "Fuck this, we're not doing anymore." So it's like, it's a huge mess with multiple hands inside of it.
After what happens after the spider?
The Grim Reaper.
The
Spider is the Grim Reaper.
And
yeah.
like I really like the way the Grim Reaper looked. It looks sick.
I love the Spirit Halloween dude. Like he looks great.
Amazing. Basically, there's a random fight that happens between the 50-year-old and Duke.
I don't know why they were fighting.
They just start
mad.
fighting, and there's just a random cat.
I mean, I will say, the movie had been like foreshadowing a tension between them for a while, but I do feel like we missed a critical like boiling point that like justified them actually showing hands.
Fighting.
Because literally the entire movie, they're always butting heads, and the entire movie, they're always like, "Fuck you, Duke." "Hey, no, fuck you, 50-year-old," or whatever. Like, they're always on each other's back. "Hey, you queer?" Always. What are you, queer?
I went back and I looked. The reason they started fighting is because the old man told Duke to take it easy, and nobody tells Duke to take it easy.
Nobody says that to Duke. They start fighting, and then all of a sudden, Duke gets pushed onto a statue of the Grim Reaper, and then the Grim Reaper becomes alive, and then he starts literally he comes alive, kills Duke, and by the time I said kills Duke, that took longer for me to say than the actual scene. It happened.
I didn't even know he died. I had to ask.
There's a split second where Duke gets stabbed, and then he's gone out of the movie. He's gone, and then it's just the 50-year-old man running away with like two other girls, one of which gets like.
She gets gashed, and they bring her to a different room, and instead of bandaging the wound, they put a splint on her leg, which is for when you break a bone.
Yeah. And this seems like it's going like we're saying it fast, but that's literally how it happens. It's that fast.
Oh, that's also so when he jumps through the door at fucking Mach 12.
Oh my god, that's right. Like, he's trying. They're locked into the room, and then the old man is like, "Oh shit, how do we get out? I got an idea." He fucking bolts it and just
head first.
He jumps head first through the fucking door. And then he immediately, in the other scene, he gets up and just picks up the girls and brings them to another room where they give a splint to the girl with a broken leg.
Also, I think it's important to note the two girls were trying to open the door, but the reason they couldn't open the door is because the cat boy was
he's always at the doors.
He was still there.
He's always at the doors holding them shut.
Every time there's a door that's shut, they cut to the cat just fucking holding the door shut.
Even though like, oh, this door's locked, and it's like clear that it's locked, we'll just cut to the cat man holding it. This is why you can't get out. He's doing this.
Fucking god. And then there's just like,
is there a scene where the cat guy is like in the same frame as any of the cats besides the girl?
Never.
That's why, because they all fucking left with the first unit.
It's except for like Billy and the Spookmaster and the Bride. That's
they were also second unit people.
Second unit was everybody with the cat.
Yeah.
Now there's three survivors. There's Old Man and
two women.
They're like so unimportant. One of them has a splint. They meet back up with Deadeye.
They just get olded.
And then the Deadeye is like, something.
Wait,
fuck
David,
you
did miss the part where they killed the Grim Reaper.
No, that was
oh my god!
God! I forgot about that. What happened?
He just throws the window and blows up.
On the roof.
They throw him off the roof, and then the Grim Reaper explodes.
It's a violent explosion.
It's a violent explosion because when they did the explosion, they did it with a bunch of WD-40 cans and some propane tanks, and they just exploded that.
Which is very fucking dangerous.
Insanely dangerous. You can actually see the top of a you know how at top of a WD-40 thing, it has like the straw? you can actually see the top of that fly towards the camera on the top right of the screen when the explosion happens. And then they become old and die. It is so unimportant. That scene, the scene happens, it lasts like so long.
It lingers so long in being old.
They're on the floor just wrinkling up and they're holding each other and like, oh, we're so old now. I don't remember what happens.
He tries to grab like a bit of the thing of acid.
Oh, right. Though we forgot about the acid that
doesn't
never
matter.
Really amounts to anything. Yeah.
No, he threw it at the Ouija board.
Oh, he did do that, and then nothing happened because he still dies.
He got electrocuted in the eyes and then died.
Yeah, and then the Deadite also dies, and that's the end of Twisted Souls because the rest of the movie is just fanfic. It is just Crew 2.
That's when the bride escapes.
The bride escapes from she's like at the top of the estate, and then she's just like running away.
But then crawling down the ladder, she falls off, and the actress has to go to the hospital for a while. For the stunt person.
How about you talk about that?
Yeah, so when I was gonna go over it when we were actually watching the movie.
Yeah.
But when she falls off, what happened was the chick fell off, had to get hospitalized. The second crew then tried to call up the first crew and like pin it on their insurance to try and like
fucking what?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because the director's like, yeah, we had caught to tell them like we had fucking nothing to do with that. We've been off set forever now. Because when she went to the hospital, they said, oh fuck, like this could be like a big deal. Let's try to bill the first cruise company for this.
They didn't even hire.
That is so fucking scummy. Holy shit.
It's like it might not have even. It could have been Michael Lee again doing it, but it's like they have such fucking vengeance.
Vipco and Michael Lee, like there's a lot of like one-sided trash talking, but it is not exclusive to this movie. Michael Lee has been trash talked by so many film crews. He was known as like one of the worst people ever to work with. That's insane. That is actually insane. She gets down the ladder, and then there's like
her son.
There's her son.
It is the briefest spooky appearance in the movie, right? That's the briefest spooky.
Has to be the fastest one.
A big fucking homunculus comes up and goes, "Mama, mama," and she screams and runs away.
She just screams and runs away, and it's never explained. It's so fucking funny.
It's a big gooey man, and it's like it's one shot of him. We never see it again.
So
the end of the movie.
Wait. I want to talk about the zombie chase. Because when you were saying this movie just has like a tendency to linger on things, it is like 6 minutes of this woman just rolling around in the dirt, getting grabbed by zombies, running around and falling over again, and they just keep repeating her just like rolling around in the dirt, getting grabbed by zombies. It's like way fucking longer than it has to be.
It has to be them just filling time, but they also had, when we look at the credits, there are so many zombie actors.
There's so
and a lot share last names, like they're just families who are in the area.
Yeah, there was
we kept seeing
it had to be that. Giorno.
Yeah, we saw like
it was
stacked up.
It's just, dude, this movie is insane because the thing is, you'd think that there would be more resolve to this, but there's not. She gets out of that 6-minute scene of just being like grabbed by zombies.
Fuck. Wait, hold on. We forgot to mention
because it looks like it's going to be
what?
But before that woman like goes down the ladder and everything, she like sneaks an ice pick into her dress and stabs Krynos in the face.
Oh yeah.
We forgot to talk about that.
We forgot about it because
Rion dies. Yeah.
Well, we forgot because he fucking comes back anyways, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. She kills him for him to come back 6 minutes later after the zombie scene is over.
Yeah, she kills him. Goes through the zombie scenes, gets into a car with a random dude. Like, the dude just shows up, says, "Hey, that's in my car." And then she's like, "I don't give a fuck." And then he's like, "Okay, I'll drive." And then they just leave.
And then he reveals, "I am the cat man," and turns into a cat.
Oh my god!
And he goes, "I love you too."
I always loved you.
Turns into Cat Boy.
Into the cat.
Don't you realize I've always loved you too?
And then you see like a pulsating cemetery
Grave.
The same
With a
shot from
lock
the opening
on it.
credits.
It had a lock on it.
Yeah, and then the lock just explodes and it's Creon, and that's how it ends. That's the
Freeze
movie.
frame. Not even like, it
Freeze
fades
frame.
to black. Freeze frame on Creon jumping out of the grave and laughing. And then the movie
The zombie
ends.
scene like has to be them burning time though, because Twisted Souls is over. And it's just like,
Oh,
what do
yeah,
we do
no,
with our
it's long
runtime?
gone.
Have her
It is
running
long
through a
gone.
zombie field for a while.
Yeah, for
Because
like,
they all start grabbing
7
her, like when
minutes.
she falls.
or whatever.
We just went through the entire movie.
Yeah.
And it took
Less than
The
the, actual
runtime of the movie.
less than the actual runtime.
Barely.
That movie
Barely. By like
barely, because
10
the movie
minutes.
is so fast. The movie doesn't care. It just goes on. It's insane, dude. This entire movie is insane. What would you guys like? I know we asked at the beginning, but now that you had time to reflect on it, would you guys say that it's art?
It's
or
art.
would you say that
It's art.
Are we
It's
doing
art.
that rating
It's
system, art or cool?
Art or cool.
When we finish Pondering, we have to review the movie, give it a rating of either cool or art.
Hold on. Are we doing 4 axis where it's like art, cool, or film cutscene?
No. Let's just do cool or art.
Cool or art?
I give this movie a rating of cool.
I would also say cool.
Yeah.
I was also thinking cool.
All right, it's
I wouldn't
cool.
say
I'm saying
stitching.
art
You think why is it art?
because it's a fucking mess.
It is,
It's
that's
a
why.
Jackson Pollock
I
painting
think-
if it was a movie.
I genuinely think this is the most lightning in a bottle movie ever. Because if it came out as Twisted Souls,
It would have been
I'm
fine.
sorry, nobody would have talked about this.
This is
It might have been
splatter
competent.
movie
painting
would
the
have
movie.
died.
Yeah, this
is
is like
splatter painting the movie. You can never recreate
give a monkey
it.
a paintbrush and see what happens.
It is impossible. It is impossible to recreate this without the drama behind the scenes.
You would
And
have
we
to make
have-
2 completely different movies.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about the dead baby yet, Mandy.
We don't need to
Do
talk
we
about
need
the
to
dead
end on
baby.
dead baby?
I really want to know. I really want to know. Please
Oh,
tell
so
me, 'cause
the explosion was a I think the cinematographer helped with it.
You cannot tell me the explosion is related to a real ass dead
No,
baby.
no. The cinematographer might have helped the explosion because he was a Vietnam War Green Beret.
Yeah.
Right,
But-
of course.
You mentioned that.
But he said like, "Oh yeah, I have a lot of bad memories with the movie," and like people are just talking about like the shit on set. So it's been like, "Oh, dude is a creep" and stuff. So you think it's gonna be like not mild, but like just workplace bullshit.
Yeah, just like
And they go,
yeah.
oh yeah, one time we pulled up to set and there was all these ambulances, and the cinematographer's baby had been in a crib, and they just walked up and the baby was dead.
Oh no!
and they never
Just like
explained
just like
it.
SIDS or something.
Never explained it.
And so he's just like, yeah, it was the hardest day of my life, but then I had to keep coming back to work and working on Spookies.
Oh no!
And the rest of the crew's like, oh yeah, like we don't know like how he managed to deal with it, but he was doing his job well.
Man. Did we talk about the witches
Oh,
in the
you
episode?
didn't talk about the witches.
Did we
No.
talk about it in the commentary?
I talked about the commentary track. I talked about the witches, but the house is also rumored to be haunted by the locals. And while the crew did not see any ghosts, they just had weird interactions with the locals about it being haunted.
Yeah,
Are you not going to go into
dense
further
fucking
detail about the
movie.
witches?
yeah. You don't want to.
The witches are kind of wild and also part of this podcast.
Yeah, I keep thinking that it's like I keep assuming people like watch the commentary track because this will be fucking incomprehensible without it at this point.
Right.
But
I mean,
yeah, I'll tell the witch.
God,
Yeah,
if you're at the end of this fucking, just go watch the fucking movie.
Please
But
have
no,
already watched
it's
the
worth
movie
the
when you get to this
time.
point.
Please.
the witches' story is that they were just filming the movie, and then a coven of witches approached them like at night and said, "Hey, do you mind if we do a ritual upstairs?" And so one of the crew members asked the director, like, "Hey, these people want to do some weird shit upstairs. Can we let them?" And he didn't want to make a scene or anything, so he goes, "Okay, fine, just let them go upstairs and do their weird shit." And so the crew member leads them upstairs, comes back down, and after about a half hour or so, he goes, "Okay, they really need to wrap it up and go tell them to leave." Crew member goes upstairs, comes back down, and goes, "Oh, they've all vanished." This is the only way up, and they're all just gone. All their
Fucking
stuff,
God,
they're gone.
Man.
And the director's like, yeah, maybe they jumped out a window or maybe they disappeared into the void, but I don't know where they went. We just got back to work filming Spookies.
And then he kept filming Spookies.
So much shit is, oh, this insane thing happened today at work, and then we had to keep filming Spookies.
That was Spookies, and that was the first episode of Pondering.
Way to start your show on fucking hard mode.
Spookies.
Genuinely.
Of all Spookies.
Like, this is such an... I feel like it's impossible, because we have such a big list of movies we want to talk about,
Hey.
Mandy and I.
Should we
And
also
this-
say who picked these movies when we like first watched them at the end?
It was Mandy and I. We've talked so many times about Spookies in the past, and it is like one of our favorite. At least for me, it's one of my favorites. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But like, God fucking
In the genre of like
Jesus.
fun, like shitty horror stuff to watch, Spookies is very, very
top
up there.
tier. It is such a top tier movie, and it has so much going on. It's impossible not to like it.
Even without the behind the scenes stuff, it's just like fucking funny and weird on its own. But once you know, even just knowing though about the director's stuff, like makes it funnier.
It makes it funnier. It's like it's the gift that keeps on giving, for real.
It's 2 movies for the price of 1.
Yeah.
It's like 3/4 of a movie and then half of a movie for the price of one. And it's short too, only like what, an hour?
Hour and
Well, with
hour
credits,
20.
hour and
might be
20
like
or
an
something.
like with
It's an hour
credits,
and
might be like an
20.
hour
Very-
15, hour 20.
It's very, very easy to watch. It's like the easiest watch of your life. You don't even have to pay attention to it, because I don't think
It'll
it's
grab
not
your
possible.
attention.
Yeah.
When you need to pay attention, trust me, you'll know when.
The movie will literally... There's a hand that will grab your fucking face and put it in front of it. Like, it's so...
The cat man will grab your face and point it at the screen up from your phone.
You will know. You will know. Yeah, watch it on your phone. Make David Lynch pissed.
Watch Spookies on your phone.
So, yeah, this movie is available on Vinegar Syndrome, have the amazing 4K release that we watched. There's also Shudder that has it on their service, as well as Arrow Video streaming.
And those are all the legal ways to watch it.
Yes, it might be on Roku too, for anyone who has that.
I believe it is.
Oh, it's also on Amazon Prime. That's
It's on
surprising.
Amazon Prime with the premium. Like you have to have a.
It's around a lot more than I thought it'd be.
If you listened to us talk about Spookies for an hour and a half and didn't watch it, you're fucked.
You're fucking you fucked up. You genuinely fucked up, because now you're spoiled on everything. And even then, to be fair,
Even
if
describing
we
the
did
scenes doesn't
spoil,
quite do them
Yeah,
justice.
you're missing out on
like-
splatter painting the movie.
What do you think? What did you think about the movie, Cameron?
Oh, this is like Get Out for white people.
Boo! This show would not be possible without the help from our patrons. Thank you so much to Air109, Alan Diver, B. Zelly, Ben Chrismanic, Bike, Beer, Bongo Crust, Boopoo Lou, Brobly, Caffeine Addicted Chemist, Chris Chapman, Christian B, Desert Gothroy, Dreams of Ice, Ducky Madness, DX Studios, Ethan, Eric Scott Gillies, Ethereal Israel, Fang Jade, Generic Phoenix, Handsome Destiny, Harry Norris, Hater115, Inspector Seb, Inverted Van Man, Jeff Smith, John with a B, Kaka. A bunch of emojis that look like a man shooting a love gun at a cat thing. Leo the Geotech, Loudon Woodworth, Matt, me, Notoriety, Ryan Rankin, Schizo Lingvo, Sen Maodo, Shantanu Batia, Smaggle, Snake Asylum, Teague, The Big Gay, The Cardboard Knight, The Snaxolotl, Travis Vapes, Trevor Wood, Winnie Rab, Will 9455, William Oliver, Winchester Curse, and Zora Curel. Thanks so much for listening. I really hope you like this pilot episode for Pondering Some Tapes, and I really hope that you guys just are excited for the next one. How do I usually end these?